Welcome to my channel Easy Learning. In today's session, I will be explaining the concept and formulas which we are going to use in the first exercise of mensuration. So let's understand how many types of figure do we have, what formulas we are going to use in mensuration in grade 8. Okay, so we know that in mensuration we study two kind of figures, right? We can study the plane figures and we study the solid figures also, right? So plane figures are basically your 2D figure and solid figures are basically we say your 3D figures. If I want to write the example of the plane figures, I can write as square because it has length, breadth, rectangle. So these all are your two-dimensional figures. If I say a triangle, a circle, etc. So three-dimensional figure which has certain height also. There are three dimensions given. So if I want to take the example of this becomes cube, cuboid, then we can write sphere, a cylinder, etc. So these all are the examples of 3D figures. So till now in grade 7 we have studied 2D figures only. This year we will understand how to calculate the surface area and the volume of the solid figures as well. Right? Till class 7 in underplane figures we have calculated perimeter and area of 2D figures. Now along with that we will learn to calculate the surface area and the volume of three-dimensional figures. In surface area we will be studying LSA where we will be using CSA also when it is the case of cylinder, and we will learn TSA. So LSA, which is lateral surface area, CSA is your curved surface area, TSA is total surface area. This complete concept I will be explaining you as we will move further in the chapter. Okay. So moving to next, I am going to explain you the formulas which we are going to use in exercise 11.1. So as soon as we will be moving to the next exercise, I will introduce the various geometrical shapes along with their formulas. Now, first let's understand, or I should say let's first revise perimeter and area. What is perimeter? Perimeter, I can say if I have any shape here, right? So what is perimeter here? Perimeter is the distance around the boundary. Distance around the boundary, the total distance around the boundary. So if I am asking you what is the perimeter, perimeter is this, the distance around the boundary. So if I have a square, so its perimeter will be this distance around its boundary becomes the perimeter, right? So the total distance around the boundary is called as the perimeter. Now if I say the area, what is area? Area is space occupied, or we say the region covered, right? So that's your area. We will see the various geometrical shapes now, and we will understand and we will write the formulas for the perimeter and areas of the different shapes. So first let's understand with the basic shape which is a square, right? So let's draw a rough figure of the square. As per the properties of the square, we know all sides in square are equal, right? So if I am taking it as A, it means all sides of the square will be A. Now I want to write the area and perimeter of the square. So perimeter, we have just discussed that it is the sum of all sides. Perimeter is sum of all sides. So it means if I do A plus A plus A plus A, I get perimeter is equals to 4A. Right? So we can conclude the perimeter of a square is 4 into side. This is your first formula. Now second, area of the same shape. Area is what? Side into side. What is the side here? A into A. So this becomes A square. So this is the area. So the formula for calculating the area of the square is side into side. Let's see the units in which it is measured. Perimeter for area, it is always measured in square units. Okay. Depending on if it is meter, centimeter, kilometer, we will write square meter, we will write square centimeter, square kilometer. And perimeter is always measured in the given units. If it is meter, meter, centimeter, then perimeter will also be in centimeter, and so on. Let's see the next shape. Next shape is the rectangle. We know the basic properties of the rectangle, that the opposite sides in the rectangle are equal. Opposite sides are equal means I can mark this side is equal to this and this side will be equal to this. Now when I am marking one line, it means these sides are equal, and on the left side and right hand side where I have marked the double lines, it means these two sides are equal. This is the way of representation in the geometry. So if this is A, this becomes A automatically because I said the opposite sides are equal. If this side is B, this side is also B. Now again, perimeter of the rectangle will be the sum of all its sides. So A plus B plus A plus B, which gives me 2A plus 2B. If I take 2 common, it gives me A plus B. And A and B are the length and breadth. So the perimeter of rectangle is twice of length plus breadth, which is again always measured in the units given. Okay. Now similarly, area of the rectangle is length into breadth. And if you calculate for the given figure, it is length is A into B. So this becomes area of the rectangle is A into B square units. So this was the perimeter and area of the rectangle. Let's see for the next shape. Next shape, if I am taking suppose as a triangle. So this is your triangle. And we have I'm taking first the case of equilateral triangle. Okay, so in equilateral triangle we know all three sides are equal. So if all three sides are equal, so this is S, this is S, this is also S. It means the perimeter will be S plus S plus S. Therefore the perimeter will be 3 into side. But this is only the case when we have equilateral triangle. In case of scalene and isosceles triangle, what will be the perimeter? The perimeter will always be written as sum of all three sides. So that's the case when we have isosceles or scalene triangle. Okay. In case of equilateral, we can still write as S1 plus S2 plus S3. That's applicable for all types of triangle. But if it is an equilateral triangle, since all three sides are equal, we can directly write as 3 into side. Next is the area of the triangle. So in a triangle, we have a height here. Let's define it with H, and let's define the base as B. So area of triangle is half into base into height, and it is also measured in square units. Okay, so this height is this height, which is I have taken as H, and this is my base. Okay, now height and base can be different since there are three sides in the triangle: first side, second side, and third side. So if I change my base, if I take this as the base, so my height will be this much. So your height and base will vary as per your figure. So this was about the area and the perimeter of the triangle. Next shape is parallelogram. So again in parallelogram we know the opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. So I can mark this side is equal and parallel to this side, and this side is equal and parallel to this side. So if I take this side as A and suppose this side as B. Okay, so now perimeter will be the sum of all sides. So it gives me A plus H plus A plus H, because if this side is A, this side will also be A, and if this side is H, this side is also H, which gives me 2 into A plus H. We can take it as base also. If I take it as B, so this becomes B plus H, which gives you 2 into B plus H. So that depends on the variables what you are taking. Again it is measured in the units. Now area of the parallelogram. If you see a parallelogram and I draw a diagonal here, I am getting two triangles, right? So to get the area of the parallelogram, what it can be, the area of first triangle plus area of the second triangle. And in the last slide we have seen the area is half base into height, half base into height. 2 upon 2 base into height, this is cancelled, I am left with base into height. So it means from the triangle area I can calculate that area of the parallelogram is base into height. This is the area of the parallelogram and the unit again will be square units. Now next shape, if I take a circle which is again a two-dimensional figure, I am drawing a rough figure here. Okay, so this is the center of the circle. Let's say this is the radius of the circle. Now again in the circle, when we calculate, we do not use the term perimeter. Okay, rather we calculate the circumference of the circle. And the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. Okay, this is defined as 2 pi r, where pi is a constant and its value is 22 by 7, and if you divide it you approximately get 3.14. So in questions also we will be placing the value as 22 by 7, 3.14 depending on the question, and of course r is the radius of the circle. Next formula in this, the area of the circle, which is again pi r square, where again pi is a constant and r is the radius of the given circle. This is also calculated in square units. Now I am explaining you the perimeter, the circumference and the area of the semicircle. Semicircle is what? This is a semicircle, right? If I cut a circle from the center, I will get a semicircle. So this was the diameter, right? So this is how I get a semicircle when I cut a circle into half. So this is a shape semicircle in which I am getting half circle and one flat side, which was the diameter of the circle. Now if I want to calculate, earlier the space occupied was pi r square. In case of circle, pi r square was the area. Now it is just half. It means the area is pi r square upon 2. In second case, if I write the circumference was 2 pi r, now the circumference is also half. So the circumference will be 2 pi r upon 2. But we know that it's a total boundary, the length of the boundary, in which now you see along with this pi r, this diameter is added. So I have to write plus d, because we have to take the complete boundary. So if I am taking this as pi r, I have to add this diameter also, because this diameter is also involved in the outside boundary. So this 2 can be cancelled with this. So the circumference of the semicircle is pi r plus d. So with this, I am done with the formulas of this chapter. Please see my next video for the solution of exercise 12.1. Till then, please revise all the formulas, which will be really helpful for the solution of questions. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.